We recently got a brand new A Day to Remember album, big ol' album, volume 1, but is it actually any good? Let's talk about it. Alright, big ol' album, volume 1. Does that mean we're getting a volume 2 as well at some point in the future? Not really sure, kinda seems like it by the title of this one, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, A Day to Remember are a massive band, very, very well-known, well-liked band in the scene for so many years now. They reached very high points in their much earlier career back in like 2009, 2010, 11. Obviously when they released a couple of their biggest albums, Homesick, What Separates Me From You. Then much more recently, into the 2020s, they sort of had a big flop of an album, You're Welcome. This album was not very well liked amongst a lot of fans. Me included, I guess. I wasn't really a big fan of a lot of this album, while I did enjoy a good amount of it at least. So they were definitely kind of setting the bar high with this next album. Everyone's obviously going to be wondering, is it any good? Is this one worth listening to after the last album we got? So let's just get right into this brand new album. And right off the bat, I am very happy to say that this album actually shocked me quite a lot, and I really have been enjoying this one so far. It's got a really nice, old school, sort of nostalgic A Day to Remember feeling on it, with quite a lot of the tracks on this album, and I was not expecting that at all. While there is certainly maybe still a couple of questionable song choices on this album, it's nothing really compared to the last album. On this album, there is plenty of the heavy, the metalcore side of things, while also just keeping that pop-punk feel, that a complete A Day to Remember feel. They really are just doing what they're best on this album, and this is what I love to hear. It really is like an old school, but obviously a much more modern A Day to Remember sound, and it really works. So let's get into the songs. First off, I actually think most of the new songs we got on this album are a lot better than most of the singles we got prior to the album. And maybe a couple of these songs weren't the best option for getting fans hyped up for this one and giving them an idea of what to expect on the album, maybe. That said, quite a while back now, we got the first single of this album, Miracle, which I wasn't even sure this one was going to be on the album, but it is. It came out so long ago now that it isn't really even relevant to now. I think it's a completely fine A Day to Remember song. Maybe even a little bit underrated as well. It's a single, it's completely enjoyable enough. Then, much more recently, we got Feedback. And this one immediately got the backlash of the haters of the last album. They were not happy with this one. It's so obvious that this song is just sort of like a retaliation to the haters, to the haters of the last album, just, you know, saying, fuck you, if I want your feedback, I'll let you know. Motherfucker, it actually says that in the song. It's kind of a silly one. While I don't really have a problem with this song, it's certainly not the strongest single, but it's enjoyable enough. But it kind of is this album's lead single, and I think it doesn't really do the rest of the album justice, because in my opinion, most of the album is a lot better than this song. I also feel the same about the next couple of singles we got that actually came with the announcement of this album coming out really soon. And these songs also just didn't really stand out to me. I don't think they're the strongest song types to be the singles of this album. Obviously, I'm talking about LeBron and Make It Make Sense. They're fine enough, but now hearing the rest of the album, I think there are some way better songs on this album that are much more single-worthy than these ones were. They're just weird choices. So, moving on to the non-singles. The rest of the album, basically. Bad Blood, To The Death, absolute heavy metalcore, peak A Day to Remember. This is what I want to be hearing from this band. I'm sure this is what many fans want to be hearing from this band. This is them in their element. Insane verses, real catchy choruses. I love both of these songs. I think at least one of these should have been chosen as one of the singles. Maybe Bad Blood. I do hope one of them gets single status and a music video at some point as well. Completely deserve it. These are by far probably the two best songs on this album. All My Friends is a pretty simple yet enjoyable song. You know, the chorus is literally, ah shit, here we go again, another night out with all my friends. It's as simple as that really, and it's enjoyable. It's an easy listen song. You can bop your head to it. Can't believe I just said bop. You can bang your head to it. Then we've got Die For Me, and this one is, you know, a much more pop rock, fun time song. This one actually really reminds me of Die For You by Bring Me The Horizon. And funnily enough, Ollie Sykes did actually have a lot of input on this song. I'm sure that most people have noticed now that Ollie is on this album cover, just hiding away there, and that immediately made us all think, oh, we're getting a collaboration, which would have been fucking awesome, but we didn't get that. We got a sort of co-written song. I'm not really sure how this one happened, and you can completely feel it really with the lyrics, just the feel of the song. While I can see this one definitely getting a lot more of the hate, and this is what fans don't want to be hearing from the band, it's just a nice, fun, modern A Day to Remember sounding song. No problem with it, really. Then we've got Silence. This is probably my least favourite song on the album, to be honest. I just find it a little bit weird. It does kind of sound a lot like a Five Finger Death Punch song, in my opinion, as well. It's just got that kind of chunky, slow, sort of heavy, but not the heavy that you really want. It's hard to explain for me, who doesn't really know many musical terms. It's probably easy if we just go listen to it yourselves and understand what I'm saying. It does have a strong Five Finger Death Punch feel to it, I think. Closer Than You Think is a perfectly fine ending track to the album. It feels like an ending track. While it's certainly not one of the big standout songs on the album, it does its job as a closing out track to the album, and that's basically it. We've also got Flowers and Same Team. Very nostalgic, old school A Day to Remember sounding. Just the guitars, the sound, even some of the lyrics, it really does have that nostalgic feel to it. I really enjoy these ones, especially Flowers. This is easily, again, one of the strongest songs on the album. I was not expecting to like this album as much as I do, and that is a great feeling. I've been seeing a lot of positive feedback to this album so far online. Good comments, positive comments mostly. That's a nice thing to see. I'm sure the band are really happy with that as well. They obviously put a lot of effort into this one. They've given the fans what they wanted for the most part as well. It's not been out long yet, but I think I will be listening to a lot of these songs throughout the year. Like I said at the start of this video, this album is just A Day to Remember doing what their best are. Combining that pop punk sound with that metalcore sound, putting them together and just creating great music. You know, they've always been great at doing the heavy and the pop punk together anyway, and this album is just more and more of that. Cannot wait to see this band in just over 2 months when they headline Slam Dunk Festival. That is going to be absolutely insane. I'm going to be listening to all of their albums again over the next few weeks, getting really hyped up for them. I think it's going to be an amazing show. I've been waiting for this one to happen for a good while now. I think it's going to be easily one of the best days of the year. So until then, I'll see you for some more music content.